So today we're going to show you that Insta360 Go 2 is not the OG when it comes to a flip out screen for an action camera. And we're not talking about the Sony RX10 either, that little square thing with the flip up screen. We're talking about something else. Stay tuned. Been a lot of videos lately on the Insta360 Go 3 showing it to be the first action camera with a flip out screen, and they don't want to burst their bubble, but they are not the first one. Somebody did it before then, and I'm not talking about the Sony RX10, that little square thing with the flip up sight. That's not the one we're talking about. Back in 2013, I believe, Sony came out with their action cam, the AS15, and that little guy was a great little camera. At the time, I think GoPro was the GoPro Hero 3 or GoPro Hero 3 Plus. So specs wise they're pretty much the same, but I do know that the audio was 1,000 times better on the Sony, and I thought the image quality was better too. But then Sony came out with an add-on, which basically what Insta360 just did with their little Go 3. Now, if you're not sure what I'm talking about, I'm going to go and grab it. Now, obviously the Sony doesn't have the stabilization, doesn't have the magnetic mounts, but we're talking, what, 2013 here. So, Sony's already done it. And I agree with old camera conspiracies there. If Sony would come out with the X4000 and that case, it'd be game over. Just correct me if I'm wrong, but the Insta360 Go 3 does not have a mic input on the actual case itself. So if you're running it in the case with the flip up screen to use it for vlogging, why not? Anyway, let's take a look at the Sony, and yeah, I'll show you what I mean. Here is the little Sony AS15, right? Everybody remembers these, right? Little action camera, right? Sony came out with the AS15. I think there was an AS30, and I think I've got the XSF1000, right? There's the Sony 1000 4K version. But to get back to the AS15, right? Standard little Sony action cam. But then Sony came out with this, the AKA-LU1. Quite a fancy name for it, but basically it's a housing. Your camera's not waterproof, no different than the Insta360 Go 2, right? So it's obviously not waterproof, but it has flip out screen, and it'll flip and face towards you. Go figure. And this is what, years ago. So again, Insta360 is not the first to do it. Now, I'm going to see if I can get some better footage of this later, but here it is here. Right? See how that works? You can see inside where it'll mount. You open up the bottom of the AS, and it just fits in there like this. If we can see, I don't know if you can see that. I don't know if it's focusing or not, but it goes in like that. Done. Right? And now we'll power it on. Oh, gotta love that old Sony menu and startup sound. Oh, doesn't like my media card that's in there. Anyway, not what I'm trying to show you. So, as you can see, it flips out. And boom, bitches. Voila. So, tell me that picture in picture here. Tell me that's not your vlogging camera. Boom. Done. Hey, how you doing? Welcome. There it is. I'll try and shoot some video with it, but again, down and dirty. Sorry, Insta360, you were not the first to do a flip out screen on a little action cam. Sony did it with this for their AS15. Now Sony's just got to get their shit together, get it done, make an X4000, and make a housing for it like this, and make a mic input externally on this one as well, and you're good to go. And yeah, you can play videos back. You can watch your videos on a bit bigger screen because there's no screen on these guys, obviously. What can you say? And no, I'm not a Sony fanboy. Thanks for watching. And I'll throw some B footage, B-roll in here, a montage, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, and yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. Out here in the mountains of BC. Gotta love it. Thanks for watching. No bear! No bear! Okay, pretty windy out here today. We are out here doing a little test with the Sony AS15 in its housing, using this as a vlogging camera. And we're about to see just a camera that came out in 2013. Just doing some test footage to show that Insta360 Go was not the first action camera to come out with a flip out screen for an action camera with an extra housing. Okay, go down to the river. It's going to get loud, but this will be a test and it's windy. So, let's... Wow, not really auto exposuring here, are we? There we go. Alrighty. Okay. Let's keep going and see how it does here. Okay. So we're coming down to the river. We're about to see how the stabilization does for this thing back in the day, and how it does for sound. It's got to be getting loud now. The river is loud. But how's it doing for stabilization? It doesn't seem to be doing very good for... Okay. What's it sound like? Can you even hear me? Now the LCD screen on this thing is not anything to bring home about, but it'll frame yet. Oh. Ooh, thirds. Ooh, center. Thirds. What? A minute. So again, how's it sounding? Okay. So, auto exposure. Alright, so now we will go and get the Insta360 Go 2. I don't have the 3. And we'll walk down and do the same thing because I don't think it sounds any different. Alright. Okay, it's pretty windy out. I'm going to give this one another go because the battery died, so I don't know if the file stayed or not. Insta360 Go 2 because I don't have the Go 3. It's in its case, and we're just going to do it so we can check audio and stabilization. Okay, so let's see how this works. Getting down to the river again, arm's length, Insta360 Go 2, 1440 Pro. Helicopter, you can hear that. Down to the river, let's do our helicopter. There's the helicopter. I don't know if you guys can hear it. I don't know if you can hear me. Alright, there we go. Insta360 Go 2, because I don't have the Go 3. I said that 3 times. Bye-bye.